Hey, what's going on YouTube? Laughing Trucker here. If you've been enjoying my content, I missed last week. Shit just got crazy and whatnot, but here I'm back. I'm gonna release this video hopefully today. Hopefully I'll have another one tomorrow. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the stuff coming out from me and whatnot. Today I want to talk about a little bit of my employment history with trucking. I was rolling with Knight Transportation for about 4 months, so basically it's kind of a little review for them, just kind of what happened, and then I'm not going to paint the company as a whole, but we'll see how you feel about it after I'm done with my little quote-unquote review and whatnot. So let's jump into it. I was at Knight Transportation. I was there for about 4 months. It was 44 cents a mile. 44 cents a mile for your first 30,000 miles. And then after that, you were supposed to go up to 47 cents a mile. I had to think about it because it's been a minute. I've been at a different company for the last few months, so which ain't terrible, it ain't great. It's kind of, I guess it's middle of the road. And they are primarily OTR. They do local and dedicated stuff, but I'll get to that in here in a few minutes about that. So the terminal I came out of was Columbus, and it was not for me, it was not a good experience. Now, my trainer, he was from North Carolina, really cool dude. He has a channel here, White Trash Trucker. Really cool guy, really chill. He fucking really gave me a great groundwork to really start with and build upon. And I think I was in a really shitty terminal with really shitty people, and fuck you, Columbus, is basically what I'm saying. That's Columbus, Ohio, by the way. And people there, just not that great people. They'll run you like a dog real quick, which I'm fine with running, but I also just treat me with some fucking respect too. And I know I was a new driver at the time. I have no reason saying, oh, I demand respect, but you give what you give. What's the other saying? As treat others how you like to be treated. So that's kind of the way I operate with that. And honestly, I went in, I did my training, got through it, no problem. At the end of my training, it was July or something like that. I needed to get home. I was in Tennessee at the time, and I was at the Tennessee terminal. I was talking to the lady there saying, hey, I desperately need to get home. I got my shit to do. I've been out for the last fucking month. So, no problem. She has it, no problem. Lickety split. She had me set up for a trip directly back home, doing a drop like fucking a half hour from my house. So, that's fantastic. The guy from my terminal called her, took the trip away, and said, you can't do this because he's not your driver. He's like, and she tried to tell me, he's just trying to get home. It's not that big of a deal. He's been out for the whole freaking month. And nope, it was no, he can't go home. We're not going to be able to get home for another 2 days. And on top of that, he's got to go recover a truck, do a load, just so he can get home. So I didn't even know. I was like, what do you mean recover a truck? Mind you, I just passed my quote-unquote so-called driver's test that they had me just fill out the damn paperwork for my own test. Get that. I filled out my own test. How dumb is that? Sorry, but that's lacking some standards. By all means, I'm a perfect driver according to them. Never did nothing wrong. But that's something I was like, I don't mind tests. I don't mind the fact that I filled out my own paperwork. It's just the principle of the matter of I shouldn't fill out my own test. You know, it just doesn't make sense. Not at all. There was that incident, which was honestly a real pain in the ass. Then I was one who I went against the grain a lot on things, especially with home time. My goal was to be home every week, and I tried my damnedest, and the dispatcher that was assigned to me wouldn't work with me. He only could get me home on like Saturday, and I'd be back out like late Sunday after technically 34 hours had passed. They would have me on a fucking load immediately. Which, I mean, I don't mind running. I'll say I don't mind running. I was doing good. I've been trying to keep that balanced family, home life with driving a truck. And so that's where I was running into a lot of issues with them, and it was just a constant fight with the one dispatcher. And there's a few words between me and him were said. He doesn't work there no more, thank goodness, because he doesn't care about his drivers. And I'll use this example. He tried getting my ass killed. It was like one of the first weeks I was on my own. I had to get a bead inspection done on the truck I was assigned, and what happened was I'm brand new. The Jake brake wasn't working. I'm going, and I called him. It was like, all right, you got more experience than I do. I'm brand new. I'm really green behind the ears. I don't know what the heck I'm doing yet. I don't understand a lot of things. So I called him and said, hey, man, I don't think my Jake brake's working. Oh, this is where I learned this lesson right here. Fuck your dispatcher. They're going to tell you anything you want to hear to get you rolling, and who gives a shit what happens. Told me, oh, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. We'll get it fixed up for you at the end of the week whenever you come in. I was all right, cool, whatever. Mind you, I'm in Indy. He sends me through Tennessee, through the Smokies, down to North Carolina. What the hell? I lost my brakes. On the very last hill before the North Carolina border, I lost my fucking brakes. I damn near died. I was pissed as hell. I finally stopped on that hill coming down. I got off to the side just enough. My brakes were smoking. I mean, I had a heavy smoke. I thought they were going to catch on fire. They were smoking so bad. I just couldn't believe it. I called them up. I called him. I think everything in the name of the book. If you've seen one of the first scenes in Full Metal Jacket, I went ballistic on that level. I think I called him everything but a human being by the time I got done. And at that point, then I told him, it was just bad. I mean, it just really was. Then I started working with another driver manager. He got me home. I really liked him. Really cool guy. Steven, honestly, but again, he knew how I wanted to run, but he knew I had 5 days to run my tail off. And he made it happen. He gave me some long runs, some hard runs, and I freaking nailed it. In 5 days, I was pushing over 2,800 miles in a week in 5 days. And they were telling me, they're like, there's no one what you're doing is impossible. So I was like, no, I just know how to work. I just know how to run my clock out. I learned about the clock very early on. I learned how to run it. I learned how to manipulate it. So that's one big advantage I had going in there. That's one thing my trainer was really good at, was showing me how to manage my clock. So whenever I did get out on my own, I was able to run long hours, long miles. And that's one thing I really liked about it. But even the, terminal lead, or the person in charge of the terminal down there, he didn't care. He ended up taking over off of someone else, and then he switched up a bunch of BS rules. Like their SWAT program, they had it go from 44 cents. You start at 44 cents, you get 30,000, and they took a penny off you and took you down to 46 cents, which I thought was a load of crap, because whenever I signed my paperwork, it said a 3-cent raise after your 30,000. I hit 30,000 in 3 months in 1 week. That, to me, that's pretty damn impressive, because I was only working 5, maybe 6 days a week. And other than that, I was rolling out. I was just killing it. So that wasn't really cool with me. That didn't bode well. They taxed me to hell and back. I actually had to get an attorney this year for the first time I ever had to. That was an adventure, because they taxed me not only in Ohio State, they taxed me in state of Pennsylvania. They taxed me in about 5 or 6 different counties in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, how hard is it to tax me where I live? It's not that difficult of a thing. And they're like, oh, no, this is just how we do business. It's like, no. I've worked enough places on W-2s to know you get taxed where you live, not, oh, we're going to tax you in Ohio. Oh, we're going to tax you in PA. Oh, by the way, we're going to tax you in the 5 other counties in PA. I'm like, well, when I do my taxes just got 100 times more complicated. And then when I also left, I wanted to roll my 401k over. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. We'll have you roll it over with any paperwork. Never sent me no paperwork. Never told me what was going on with it. I just received a check randomly in the mail when they cashed out my 401k without me even fucking knowing. So screw those guys. And it sounds like I'm ranting here, but you know what? It's just dumb things like that makes people not want to stay out of the company. Change your pay rate. Oh, and the sliding pay scale. That's going to be a rant. The sliding pay scale is dumb. Give me a straight what I'm making per mile, and let me take these, and let me just go and run my tail off. End of story. That simple. But if you were running on a shorter run, they would pay you more cents per mile. Even though you're getting say you were getting 44 cents a mile, you might get a quick 150 mile run. Oh, we're going to pay you 55 cents a mile for that. Sounds good. It doesn't help you at all. It really just comes back down and you're still making 44 cents a mile after you deal with taxes, time, and everything else. So that just doesn't make no darn sense at all. That's something they should get rid of. It's not helpful. It's not productive. You know what? Let me... There, let's see if that helps. Might help. Anyways, but with night, the only reason I went to night was I just needed a place to give me a quick shot and we get some experience under my belt, and that's really what it was. I just came in there to get experience. I already had no intention of staying. I was honest with myself about it. I said, look, I'm just here to get my experience. As soon as I get enough experience to go somewhere else, I'm gone. Gone as faster than you can even say it. So one company, I was looking at companies that were requiring 6 months experience. In 6 months, I was planning on leaving and heading out, saying I'm out of here, and find some other places going to pay me more. One company I did find was JB Hunt. I really liked them. They were really big on safety and whatnot. And at the time when I was looking, they said 6 months experience for their regional, a dedicated regional run, and that they were paying pretty good. And this is going to be a different video, but what happened was I got a phone call about 4 months in saying, hey, are you interested in coming over? We lowered it from 6 months to 4 months. And as soon as they told me that and told me about the sign-on bonus, I put my 2 week notice in before I even hung up that phone, and I was ready to come over here, a drop of a pin. And that was another thing Night would do to you. Whenever you call in, you try to get hold of your driver manager, they would put you on hold for hours and hours. I think one day I sat on hold for 4 hours for an issue I needed fixed like 4 hours ago. I understand like being on hold for a little bit, but 4 hours is a bit extreme. That's another thing I hated about that crap. Couldn't get a hold of no one. And the thing is, if I called a different terminal before, I'm going to use Tennessee because that's who was actually called. Within 5 minutes, I had someone on the phone. I had a solution to whatever issue I was facing, and instructions on how to proceed. And if I needed to call anyone else, they had those numbers ready and available. Like I said, it's the terminal. I think it's not Night as a company as a whole, but it's definitely the terminal. And if you're in a good terminal, I mean, Night's not. I don't think it is a terrible place. It's a good starting point. But I don't know how some people are like, all hell Night, we're going to stay here for the rest of our lives, when you're making $700 a paycheck at 44 cents a mile. No thank you. No thank you. As soon as I came over to JB, I went from 700, like I said, that's going to be a total different video, but let's just say there has been a substantial increase in the last 8 months of my life just getting into trucking. I've gone from making $35,000 a year for where I was before I got into trucking to about 50 when I was with Knight. Well, 40 or 50, I haven't done the math on it in a long time. But my point is I went from that, and now I'm looking between 77 and 80. And I've done this in less than a year. I've done this in a period of 8 months. And I have another place that I can potentially go to where I end up with a local run home every night, and they're saying their drivers on that particular account is averaging $93,000 a year, which is insane if you think about it. In less than a year, I went from making 35 to almost 100,000 if I jump to this next company. But I'm at JB. I'm happy with it. So that's the thing. I'm very happy where I'm at. I'm going to lock it down for a little bit. Keep getting my bonus, and maybe I'll roll out once I get some more experience under my belt, and maybe there's somewhere else that I can start making a little bit higher money. But for where I'm at, it's fantastic. But again, with Knight Transportation, I honestly think overall it could be an okay company. Just depends what terminal you're coming out of. Most of the time, honestly, in my experience, they're just trash. Like even like the truck they assigned me, I don't. That's one thing at any company I've been at, I don't say my truck, because it's not my truck, it's the company's truck. So the truck that they assigned me at Knight Transportation was a 2018 International, whatever. Already had 500,000 miles on, which I know is young for a truck, which is fine. But I was missing half the rear end, no bed. The board to hold up the bed was gone. I had no cabinets. It was completely, and it was never cleaned. It was never detailed or anything. It was just a fucking trash. And right there, I just knew, I was like, I'm not staying here. That was just another way to reinforce the nail in the coffin, going, I'm already not staying here. And people pretend like it's the best company in the world, and it really isn't. It's trash. It is straight trash. And but that's pretty much all I have to say about it. If you guys got any questions, comments, whatever, whatnot, just hit me up in the comments. I'll do my best to reply as fast as I can. Other than that, I'm just going to stay out here, keep hauling, keep hustling, keep running. This is Laughing Trucker. I'll talk to you later.